What's going on, man? Welcome back to Perspective Empire. So right now, I want to do a reaction video of this guy named Matt, and the video is about what is a woman. What is a woman exactly? So a lot of people had a lot of arguments about, kids growing up and they feel if their gender, if they're a male or they're a female. So it's one of those things. It's a very sensitive topic. So I really wanna dive into this video. It's quite fascinating, but hopefully we can learn from this. And let's see.
My film, What is a Woman, which is streaming now exclusively on the Daily Wire. And you go to whatiswoman.com and get signed up, and you can watch the film right now. Many of the conversations we had were unintentionally hilarious. Many were disturbing. Veering significantly over to the disturbing end of the spectrum is my interview with Dr. Michelle Fortier, who is, as you'll hear her proudly identify herself, a gender-affirming pediatrician, also an abortionist. We flew up to Providence, Rhode Island to speak with Dr. Fortier. She was, friendly enough at first, and what we found in many of the interviews that you'll see in What is a Woman is that gender ideologues are very polite and nice right up until the moment when you express any skepticism at all. So before we
Hey, that's pretty deep, because if you really want to talk about this very topic, a lot of people are very sensitive. They're ready to punch you in the face. But hey, let's keep moving on.
get to that point where things really start to sort of fall apart, let's get to know Michelle a little bit. Watch.
My name is Michelle Fortier, and I have a medical degree from University of Connecticut, residency, University of Utah Pediatrics, and I've worked for a number of different Planned Parenthoods for 20 years. I do advanced contraception and abortion, as well as gender hormones, and sort of looking at the whole sort of schema of gender, sex, and reproductive justice.
So you've done a lot of work in this field. Could you just start by telling us,
Sure.
at what age can a child first begin
To begin if they're a woman or a man, to recognize if they know the difference between a man and a woman, to recognize, can they understand the difference? In my opinion, in my honest opinion, I don't know. I don't think that they know because they're very young. But let's watch the video.
transition into another gender or identify themselves as a gender different from how they were born?
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's research and data that show that babies and infants understand differences in gender. Some children figure out their gender really early, and the reason why we say, oh, it's interesting or important is because they're figuring out their gender identity is not necessarily congruent with their sex assigned at birth.
When the doctor sees the penis and says, this is a male, has the sex of male, that's an arbitrary distinction.
Telling that family, based on that little penis, that your child is absolutely 100% male identified, no matter what else occurs in their life.
Another thing I really want to add on to this, I have know about this theory about, I'm not sure if you guys know about the different consciousness in your mind, and there's a theory out there that apparently that when a baby is born, what it is their conscience in their past life. If they come out as a man, their past life they were a woman. Allegedly, this is what the theories say, right? And but what it is that they're saying that when they in the past life they used to be a woman, and then when they come back on this earth, they become a man, and they feel like they're not what they think they are. They feel like there's something off, and that's one of the theories out there that I have realized, and a lot of people have pointed out to me that could be a cause of the effect. But hey, let's listen to this.
That's not correct.
So what does gender affirmation care? You're a big proponent of. If we walk through, a child is sitting down with you, is questioning
Yeah.
their gender. What's the gender affirmation process?
Affirmation means that as a pediatrician, as someone who says my job is to provide the best medical care for you, is I need to listen really carefully. And how I put it in words for kids so that they can understand it is, tell me your story. Where have you been in terms of your gender and your gender identity? Where are you right now? And more excitingly, where would you like to be in the future?
Have you ever met a 4-year-old who...
Man, this is pretty deep, man, because what would you do if you were in that situation, if you have a son or a daughter come up to you and say, hey, listen, Dad, Mom, I don't feel that I am a woman, I don't feel that I am a man. What would you do in that kind of scenario? You know, like, would you demean them? Do you, like, find help? Do you, like, figure out what's really going on? What would you do in that situation, in that perspective?
believes in Santa Claus?
Mm-hmm.
So this is someone who believes that a fat man is traveling through the sky on a flying reindeer at lightning speed, coming down his chimney with presents.
Yeah.
Would you say that this is someone who maybe has a tenuous grasp on reality?
They have an appropriate 4-year-old handle on the
Sure.
reality
Agreed.
that's very real for them.
Agreed. But Santa Claus is real for them, but
Yeah.
Santa Claus is not actually real.
Yeah, well, but Santa Claus does deliver their Christmas presents.
Well, yeah, but he's not real, though.
To that child, they are.
But
To that child, they are. Santa Claus obviously is not real, first of all. We all know Santa Claus is not real. He does not come from the chimney. That's a lie. So telling a child from the beginning of time a lie, after a while when they grow up, they start to hate you. You know, and something like that, you really need to watch out. You know. Here, let me play another video of Dr. Phil. It's very quite interesting. You know what? Let me play another Matt video. This one video is very eye-opener. I want to show you. Hold on. Let me share this video of Matt.
I see a child.
Everything that you have said on gender identity, gender expression, John money, pronoun usage, what else? The sex gender distinction. You are 100% correct.
That's an eye-opener, you know? And this gentleman right here was saying the pronoun, what Matt was saying about the gender, the different gender is actually correct. But we will see how he feels after a while that Matt, does he really agree onto Matt's statement? Does he agree to what he said? Let's see.
You are 100% correct. I don't know if you've ever heard that from a trans person before. I identify as a trans woman. You are 100% correct in there. It is an absolute travesty that the trans community bases everything on such vacuous concepts. My thing is, though, is I don't agree with your conclusion. I don't agree with it. But more so, the reason why I don't is less a matter of argumentation and more so a matter of method. You've stated time and time again that your approach to this is to try and keep things simple and uncomplicated. As in, you don't try and engage with the nuance of the position of trans people. But that's exactly how my org treats you. They don't think that your arguments are worth looking at because they cast you as a transphobe. I did otherwise, and I looked at like, yeah, no, this guy's absolutely correct on all these things.
So which conclusion are you? You said you disagree with my conclusion.
What's the conclusion that of the model that you're postulating of gender? Of that it's just this, you have man, woman, they're biologically contingent. My sort of question is, do you think that defaulting to simplicity, if this is the most dire issue of the age, which is something else that I agree with you on, do you really think that a method of simply recoursing to the most simplistic matter of approach is what we should be doing here?
An approach, and a better approach is saying, what approach you want us to do? What approach do you want Matt to do? I really believe that the way what Matt has done, he has a great job on it in pointing out what is a woman. If you watch the full documentary about it, and he did a fantastic job on it. So what conclusion or how would you make it simpler for people to understand? But hey, man, listen, this is only my perspective on it, you know? But hey, let's see what Matt got to say about it.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
You know,
Because, I mean, I appreciate, I appreciate everything that you said. I appreciate your attitude. I very rarely encounter your attitude from that side of the ideological outlook. So I appreciate that. But yeah, I do think that making it simple is the right approach because, to my view, it is a very simple question. Now, if you want to get into the personal experiences of each individual and, someone who is who's experiencing gender dysphoria, what do we do to treat that problem? Sure, there's all kinds of personal, subjective nuances and things like that. And, if my child came to me and said that they were confused about their identity.
See, this is what I said about earlier. What would you do if your child come up to you? What would you do in that scenario? Honestly, think about that for a minute and imagine that, Hey, Dad, I feel like there's something different about me. What steps were you going to do, in that scenario? Let's move on.
I wouldn't just say, get out of my face. I would want to sit down and talk to them. And that's what you get into. That becomes sort of an interpersonal exchange. And so you get into some of those personal nuances and everything. That's fine. But the underlying fact, the underlying reality is simple. That there are only males and females in the human race. There are no other categories. There is no third sex. It doesn't exist. Even though we hear about intersex people, an actual intersex person would be someone who has the reproductive capacities of both men and women, males and females. Such a person has never existed, ever.
I understand what he's saying. There were. I'm not sure if you guys seen this. There are a male and a female in combined in one body. They do exist out there. They do honestly exist, but I'm not sure the percentage on that.
So what I see here is a binary system, and in that way, it's very simple. I think that has to be honest.
So there you have it. That is Matt video. I just wanted to see what are your thoughts on it. It's a very interesting video. It's a very interesting interview. We have everyone there. But the question is, what are your thoughts on it? What is your perspective on it? So, I just want to leave that up to you guys. I want to thank you very much for watching the video. If you want to support me, hit like, hit subscribe. I got some more content to share with you guys. Thank you very much. Have a good day, guys.